A face that I would like to get to know is Belinda Davids.
Hugely,
so
huge
beautiful
talent.
It's unbelievable. I'm staring at her right now. She's huge, hugely talented.
Huge, but she's hugely
talented.
So, and it takes a hugely talented person to be able to sing the songs that Whitney Houston has made.
Yes, that person is right here. Her name is Belinda Davids, and she's performing tomorrow night at the Palace Theater in Stamford. Here's just one reason you're going to want to book your tickets right now. Take a look.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I love the fact that you've come with your own bodyguard. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. I mean, it sounds so much like Whitney Houston, and just even your own voice is just beautiful. How did you start singing Whitney Houston songs?
I started singing Whitney when I was very young. I was 8 years old when I heard her the first time, and I knew that I was going to be a singer, a professional singer. I was going to make it my career, but I also knew that I wanted to sing like her.
Okay.
You know, so I listened to her for hours on end, and
I did too, but I didn't end up sounding like her. With the at the Apollo, that could be a tough crowd. And I'm so envious that you had that opportunity to perform there. What was that like?
It was a tough crowd, I'll tell you that. It was, because the few acts that was before me, sadly, unfortunately, got booed.
Oh, it's so
it's so terrible, isn't it?
Terrible.
It's terrible. And you know, it sort of set the pace, and I was like, oh my God, I'm definitely gonna boo me. And I thought for no other reason they would boo me, because first of all, it's a Whitney Houston song.
Right, exactly.
Second of all, how dare I?
How dare you, right?
You know what I mean? How dare I come to New York, her territory, and perform a Whitney Houston song?
Right.
But I did, and I remember very little of that performance because I was so nervous, and I was also very excited and emotional about, you know, it's for me, it was, you know, it was a full circle moment. This was the stage that Whitney Houston performed on, The Greatest Love of All. She recorded that video on that stage.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so for me it was like, oh, good heavens, and the history and everything, and the tree, it was just...
Oh.
Did you ever get a chance to meet her? Did she?
I never had the opportunity to meet her. I never did, and I'm very sad about that, because I think that we probably would have got along really well.
Yeah.
I think we would have gotten. She was a really nice person, and I would like to think that I'm somewhat nice. But I think we would have gotten along really nicely. On the other hand, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Now, do you do other artists besides Whitney Houston, or it's just all Whitney Houston?
I mean, of course, you know, you try to do some other stuff like Mariah Carey, and you try to do Chaka Khan and Aretha Franklin, and you know.
Through the fire, through the limits to the wall.
Oh, he's in it.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I really wanted to sing along just then.
Please sing that right now.
I'm a little tired, okay, but I sang that song so many times over my career, over my long career. And it's such a good song to sing. It's such a belter. And oh, that actually makes me a little scared to sing now. Through the fire, through the limit to the wall. For the chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. I'm a little tired. I had a show last night.
That's amazing. But you know what, and we're going to talk about your show coming up, but I want to give people more goosebumps because we actually have a clip of another Whitney Houston song. So let's watch this.
Belinda, did you have vocal training? Did you train, or
I
you
didn't
just
have
no?
any.
You're
I didn't
just-
have any. I listened to her.
You
That
just
was
were
it.
born that way?
Literally, I was born that way. But no, I listened to her.
That was it.
She was that person that I would go to for technique. I'd listen to it very closely for hours on end. Her belt, her way she belted songs was a thing for me. It was like, I know I have the range. I knew as a young child that I had the range,
Right.
Singing in church and all, but I needed to connect it to something, and she was that.
Wow.
But you also have this down. And
And the look.
And
And
the-
the
you've got
the
this.
hands.
Don't let me go. I mean, that's got to be
I
perfected.
love him so much. Oh my God. Yeah, no,
He really wants to sing with you.
Well, we're very excited that you're here in Connecticut. We
Thank
can't
you.
wait for you to perform.
I'm excited to meet everybody. It's my first time here.
Well, you're a delight, and we're so happy. The Greatest Love of All, the Whitney Houston show, is tomorrow night at the Palace Theater in Stamford. The show begins at 8 p.m. For tickets, head to palacestamford.org. Wow.
It's going to be an amazing show.
So great to meet
It
you.
is.
Thank you for
it's
being here.
really fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's
Thank
our
you for having
pleasure.
me.
It's our pleasure.